Hi guys, so I was talking with wmpyr on one of his latest vids for his entry into Blade Ops, the contest for basically getting some free giveaway stuff for wmpyr's channel or for another channel. Blade Ops is having a contest for that, and wmpyr made submitted an entry, and I thought his idea for it was pretty awesome. So what I am doing is, and this brings us to this video, what I am doing is I am going to go ahead and jump the gun and submit my responses to all 4 questions in one video. Basically, I do not want anything out of this. I don't really want to be entered into wmpyr's contest, and I really don't want to be into Blade Ops' contest. This is just kind of a just for fun thing for me. So I mean, everything's just for fun on YouTube for me, but more or less. But the main thing is that I just want to kind of support wmpyr, and I would like to and give my answers to a couple of questions, because I think they were pretty cool questions. So, you know, here we go. I chose the Navy. Short answer of why I chose the Navy is when I was going through and getting ready to join the Air Force, there came to be a point where they said that I was 5 pounds overweight. At the time I was weighing 185, and they said that I had to weigh 180, and I said, forget this, and I went and talked with the Navy guy, and the Navy guy said, hey, we'll take you at 185. So I went for the Navy. If I were to do it again, would I go for a different branch? Yeah, I would have left the 5 pounds, and I would have went in the Air Force. The reason why I would have went into the Air Force is because the Air Force tends to have better benefits for its people. They treat their people better. It's just, the deployments are better, the food is better, the barracks are better. It's just a better position for you. So, no disrespect to the Army, Marines, Navy, Coast Guard. No disrespect to the other branches, but if I were to make my choice, it'd be Air Force. Okay, so what changes will I make to a knife that I own? Well, I could sit here and get a knife that I own and put it out here and say that I would do this, thus and so. Or I could actually bring out a knife that I actually have modified and tell you why I did it. Okay? This is my GI Tonto. I sharpened the back swedge on it because I wanted to sharpen swedge so I can come back and do a back cut this way. Okay? It also gives me a good controllable edge to really kind of dig in. So it's an extra edge on a knife. What's not to like about it? It had a quilling right here, and honestly, that quilling got in my way more than anything, and it was just a pain. You just sneezed all over me, dude. Seriously. I guess I'll have to leave this part in. Anyway, Anyway, so I took this quillion off so that I could have a comfortable grip, and kind of a sub-hilt type idea. I hated the polypropylene scales on it. I absolutely hated them. So I wrapped it in bank line. It does have a good grippy handle for it. I will say that it isn't a comfortable handle, but it is functional. So let's put it that way. So that's what I would do, and that's why I did do it. If I were to, well, if I were to do anything different, I would turn it into a 9-inch blade. I would make it a much bigger blade than what it is. It's listed as a 7, but the inch that they're talking about is from get one is from what they're talking about with the 7 inches is at the start of this, not the actual blade. So it's actually a 6-inch blade. They call it a 7, but it's not. It's actually a 6. So I would elongate this, the actual blade, to 9. Basically because I like a 9-inch blade. So there we go. My little something for women's self-defense would be to make sure that your mindset is correct for it. So many women's self-defense classes are tongue-in-cheek, and there's humor, and there's all of that, basically to chase away the seriousness of an attack. There is a time and a place for humor. There is. There is a time and a place for humor in training. But there has to be an understanding, fundamental, into the student's mindset of what it is that you're learning. I've said it before, and I'll say it again, and I have, whenever I teach a women's self-defense class or anything like that, I do go into my 2 questions. Depending on your answer of these 2 questions, will tell you exactly how successful you will be in your endeavor to defend yourself. What are you willing to die for? What are you willing to kill for? Those 2 questions. If you cannot give yourself, forget me. If you can't give yourself the right answers, or a real answer, you're not ready. First find out that. Then learn self-defense. Otherwise, you're going to go into a self-defense situation. You won't know what you stand for. And you may perform, or you may not. Do you want to go off into a self-defense situation with, let's say, a gun that may or may not fire? And really it's a 50-50-90 on that one. 50% of the time it'll be the way you want it, 50% of the time it will, 50% of the time it won't, 90% of the time it'll be the one that you don't want. You want to take that chance? I don't. answer those two questions. What am I willing to die for? What am I willing to kill for? Those two questions are answered. Hey, guess what? Now you have a foundation. The last thing that I would recommend is to not threaten anything or any action, because to do so you're just telegraphing what you're going to do. Never threaten, just do. Do it quickly, run away. 3 tools I'll never be without. I will never be without my Mossberg 500 shotgun. It's a pump action shotgun. With it I can take down any manner of game. I can also use it for self-defense. The second tool is my S-Wing axe. The reason why I chose this as my second tool is multi-functionality, essentially. The versatility of this is awesome. It can be used for a lot of different things, and that's why I chose it. My third tool will be my ultimate knife. Thing is that you just need a good knife. End of story. It doesn't matter what you're doing, who you are, you just need a good knife. And if I need to use something for self-defense, I'd much rather have a 9-inch blade as to have a 3 or a 4. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your views. I appreciate your time. Defend your homes wisely.